my people. Previously, we talked about the functions and positions of blood. It's time for us to learn about the system that circulates blood around the body, which is called the circulatory system, also known as the cardiovascular system. What is circulatory system? A circulatory system is the network of organs and vessels that transport blood throughout the body. Its responsibility is to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the cells and removing waste products like carbon dioxide. Let's look about the importance of circulatory system. 1. Delivering oxygen and nutrients. 2. Removing waste products. 3. Supporting the respiratory system. 4. Maintaining homeostasis. 5. Protect the body. 6. Regulating hormones. 7. Transporting other substances. The circulatory system. This is comprises of the heart and an incredible numbers of arteries, veins, and capillaries that carry blood to every extremity of your body. There is a lot to discuss here. So let's start by taking a close look at the heart. We have even assigned it as a center of thoughts and emotions. We now know that this is not true, as the brain is where all of that activities take place, whilst the heart, which sits within the medial cavities of the thorax, known as a mediastinum, serves simply as a pump, but this doesn't make it any less remarkable. As we shall see, the first thing we must point out is that the heart participates in two circuits. Blood enters the right side of the heart and is sent to the lungs, where it becomes oxygenated. When the oxygen we breathe in from the air around us diffuses through the lungs and enters the bloodstream to bind to hemoglobin. Then this returns to the left side of the heart to complete the pulmonary circuit. Then the oxygenated blood leaves the left side of the heart and sent throughout the body to deliver oxygen and nutrients to all the various tissues that need oxygen to perform cellular respiration. It unloads all the oxygen and eventually marks it back to the right side of the heart, thus completing the systemic circuit. So we have two circuits and two receiving chambers in the heart where this cycle finish, those being the right atrium and left atrium. Along with this, there are two main pumping chambers, those being the right ventricle and left ventricle. The heart is covered by something called the pericardium, which is made of dense connective tissue that protects the heart and maintains its position. The two walls of the pericardium are the fibrous pericardium and the serous pericardium, the latter of which also has two layers, the parietal layer and the vascular layer, also known as the epicardium. The epicardium is considered the outermost layer of the heart wall. The myocardium makes up most of the heart, and it is made largely of cardiac muscles. The rest is made of connective tissues, the others being the myocardium and the endocardium. Fibers that form a dense network called the cardiac skeleton, providing structural support and insulating the electrical activities. The endocardium is a white sheet of endothelium that sits on some more connective tissue, and this lines the heart chambers. Speaking of chambers, the heart has 4 of them. These are 2 atria and the 2 ventricles. We talk about the atria are separated by the interstitial septum, and the ventricles are separated by the interventricular septum. The atria are the receiving chambers where blood arrives, which is then poured down into the ventricle. Oxygen-poor blood enters the right atrium through 3 different veins. The superior vena cava delivers blood from upper parts of the body. The inferior vena cava delivers blood from lower parts of the body. And the coronary sinus collects blood draining from the myocardium. For the left atrium, there are 4 entryways, and these are the pulmonary veins, which delivers blood from the lungs back to the heart. The ventricles make up much more of the volumes of the heart, and these are the actual pumps. The ventricle contracts, that's what's pumping the blood out of the heart and into circulation. The right ventricle sends blood into the pulmonary trunk, which goes to the lungs, and the left ventricle sends blood into the aorta, which is an artery, the longest one in the body. We will talk about arteries and other blood vessels later. For now, let's stick to the anatomy of the heart. Another important feature is the heart valves. This ensures the unidirectional flow of blood, meaning they keep the blood going in the correct direction. There are 2 antrovascular valves, or AV valve. The right one is called tricuspid, meaning it has 3 little lobes, whereas the left one is mitral or dicuspid, meaning 2 lobes. When a ventricle contracts, the valve will close due to the change in pressure. There are 2 other valves called semilunar valves, and these are the aortic valve and the pulmonary valve. This connects the ventricles and arteries that stem from them, preventing blood that is leaving from flowing back into the ventricle. Now let's go a little deeper. When we learn about the types of muscle earlier in the series, we saw that the heart has its very own type, cardiac muscle, which is not found anywhere else in the body. Cardiac muscle fibers are similar to skeletal muscle fibers in that they are serrated, and the mechanism of contraction with the sliding filaments is the same. But cardiac muscle fibers are not long and multinucleate. Instead, they are short and flat, each with 1 or 2 nuclei, and they are branched and interlock with one another. The junctions between the cells are called intercalcated discs, and these contain desmosomes, which hold things together, and grip junction, which allow for ions to pass through. The sarcomeres look similar to those found in skeletal muscle fibers, but there is small variance in the diameter of the myofibers, and there is more branches amongst them. Also, the sarcoplasmic reticulum is a bit similar, and the T-tubules enter twice per sarcomere. The mechanisms by which the heart pumps is similar to what we already know about skeletal muscle cells and the action potential, but there are some key differences. First, a small percentage of cardiac muscle cells can excite each other. They do not need a nerve impulse. This is called automaticity. Also, contraction is highly coordinated. All the fibers in the heart connect as a unit, and this is because of a grip junction that ties everything together, allowing ions and therefore depolarization to spread throughout the heart, one cell at a time. And lastly, the refractory period is much longer in the heart, needing more time before another contraction can occur, which ensure the heart functions properly. One of the most remarkable things about the heart is its intrinsic cardiac contraction system. There are certain specialized cells whose job is not to contract, but rather to distribute impulses throughout the heart, to initiate contraction from within, and also to ensure that contraction is perfectly coordinated. These are called pacemaker cells, and they have an unstable resting potential that continuously depolarizes until the threshold is reached. Problems with this system are what lead to arrhythmias, and fibrillation, which are irregular blood rhythm or repeat contraction. The heart also has coronary arteries and coronary veins because the heart needs to be supplied with blood just like any other organ. And we will get a closer look at this later. So this is the introduction about the heart. There is plenty more to discuss regarding heart rates.